Family Credit Management is a non-profit credit counseling agency. We specialize in helping people take control of their debt.
People call in every day. By the end of the call, they're feeling better. They know there's some hope out there.
For over a decade, Family Credit Management has helped tens of thousands of Americans deal with the burden of debt.
If you're struggling with debt, the most important thing is to take control of it. Now's the time.
Family Credit.
Hey, good evening. We are back another week. Again, my name is Tish Griffin, and I am here today to talk with you about any types of problems that you may be having with your debt, with credit, with finances, any types of issues that you have. Feel free to call in 312-738-1060. So I'm only here for the next 25 to 30 minutes or so. So if you do not get the opportunity to call in, I do want you to take advantage and contact Family Credit at 800-994-3328. And as you see on listed there, we've got the website at familycredit.org, which is an amazing resource that I want you to take advantage of. Why? Because there's counselors that are standing by that can answer all types of questions that you may have. So if you're not comfortable calling in, or if you think of something after the show's gone off, feel free to give the counselors a call. Or look them up online, familycredit.org. So for the past few weeks, we've been talking about your debt and your finances. We had a really great show last week with some great questions. And we had some people get into what to do when they're handling difficult situations. So we want to talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about some alternatives, things that you need to look out for when you're forced with those payments that you can't make, or with dealing with your creditors. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Also, another thing that we want to point out, hey, interest rates are on the rise. We know that for a fact. Federal Reserve increased interest rates not too long ago, and it's not looking like they're going to go down anytime soon. So what that means for you, if you are looking to get a credit card, if you're looking to get a loan, if you're looking to get a car loan, even a home loan, rates are going to be up. But it's just you need to prepare yourself, make sure that you are able to afford the payment, and look at all the terms outlined, see how long you have to pay on it, and do some research on your own too. But you want to focus on whether you can afford the payment, not necessarily what the APR is, but you do want to do those things that are within your power to make your situation better for you. And you may ask, what do I mean by that? So if you are thinking about getting a loan, I always want you to look at 6 months before you're possibly going to get that loan. Maybe 3 to 6 months. 6 months would be the best time for you to go in, pull your credit report from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and take a look at what's there. Best thing you can do for yourself, because the last thing you want to do is apply for a loan and be turned down. So if you do some work on the front end, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into when you walk into that bank, or when you talk to that lender, or when you apply for that card, because no one wants to be turned down. So do your research ahead of time, do your footwork. It takes discipline, it takes some help. And remember that those counselors are there on standby, 800-994-3328 or familycredit.org. But it's important for you to do that so that you know what you're getting yourselves into. Also, when you're looking at a loan, for whatever reason, make sure that you can comfortably afford the payment. Another big key. You don't want to get yourself roped into something. I've seen so many people, they go out there, let's think about this. You're looking for an auto loan, and you have it in your head exactly what you're going to spend, right? So a lot of times, let's say, okay, I know I'm going to get this car loan. I'm not paying anything over $250, but by the time you sign those actual loan papers, the auto dealer has talked you into a payment of maybe $600 or more. That's something that you want to watch out for. And with you being disciplined, knowing what you can comfortably afford, knowing what your budget is, that will allow you to stay within your budget and stay within your means. Because you don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize your financial security at all. So that's why we recommend looking at your budget, your payments, making sure you can afford it. Now, again, there are some things that happen in life. We all know that life can take a downward situation, a downward spiral, and sometimes things can become unmanageable. But that's what we're here for, to help you with those types of situations. One of the things that we're looking at is, what do you do when you can't afford your payments? And looks like we'll answer that question in a moment, but we've got our first caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, my car loan is 2 months past due and I need to keep my car. Any advice on what I should do?
I'm so glad you called and asked that question because you're not alone. People struggle with the auto loans and trying to keep those current. If you do not make any payment at all on your car, they are going to repossess it. And that's just going to happen. But you want to do what you can to avoid that. So how do you do that? Pay attention to the notices that you're receiving from your lender. Make sure that you're staying in contact with them and you know where they are every step of the process. Now, if you miss your payment or you don't make your payment for 1 month, of course, it's seen as negative. But if you miss your payment for 2 months, sometimes now you've got the double payment that you need to make to bring yourselves current. And a lot of times that's not realistic, especially let's say you are paying that $250 car note. And sometimes I know a lot of people pay a lot more than that. So you're paying that. It's easier to come up with $250 than $500 at one time. But that should not stop you from making a payment. So whatever payments you can make towards it, try and make that payment to the lender, because what that's going to do is going to reduce the amount that you owe to them anyway. Also, contact the lender and see if they have any type of assistance available. A lot of auto lenders, what they do, sometimes they have special programs in-house where they will allow you to miss a payment, or they may take that payment and put it on the end of the loan and bring your loan current. There's some creative things that they can possibly do. Another thing that you may want to do before things are getting too bad, let's say you know you have a high car payment, high interest rate, but maybe your credit's not too bad. Look and see if you can find someone else that will finance you out of that loan, maybe into another one. You can look at it. Credit unions are typically great about doing that type of having really great deals for auto loans. So you can look at that, trying to reduce your monthly payment as well. But you do want to stay diligent and you want to let them know what's going on and contact them ahead of time before you find yourself in a situation facing repossession. Because, you know, a lot of times when you go through repossession, or if you've ever been through repossession, they add on so much more than you would even imagine. So when your car gets repossessed, you not only owe your past due auto payments, but now you owe storage fees. You owe the cost of them actually coming to get the car. And a lot of times they want, in order for you to get that car back, you have to make restitution, meaning you have to pay everything that you owe, plus all of the costs that they put into taking that car from you as well. Then you also want to weigh out your situation too. Maybe it might be better if you contact someone and get some help and try and find some help with that process as well. Sometimes, depending on your situation, you might need to look and see if bankruptcy is an option for you. Now, it's there for a reason, and it's there when you can't get out of certain financial situations with your lenders. But the great thing is there's advocates that are there to help you decide whether that's an option that you should take. So you can reach out and contact a counselor at Family Credit, and they can help go over your financial situation. They can go over your income, your bills, and see what options you actually have, because a lot of times it's hard for us to determine that on our own, and we're facing so many challenges. We've got so much stress on us from dealing with those creditors already. So use your resources and look at all the options that are available to you. Another thing, if you are struggling with your utility bills, there are options out there that are available for you. So we've got Light Heat that's coming available November 1st. And you want to contact CETA. If you are living outside of Chicago, look at your townships and see where you can get that help. Also, you can contact the utility companies themselves. Now, why do I suggest you do that? Because the utility companies, they actually have assistance set up that you may qualify for. Now, it's up to you to find out if you qualify. And a lot of times they don't advertise this information. But if you're looking at your utilities, such as your lights and your gas, you can contact them and see if you qualify for their sharing program. And a lot of those programs are even ran by Salvation Army, so you can reach out to them as well. If you're struggling with help to pay your rent, look at the townships that you live in. Look at Cook County Assistance. Contact 311, see if there's some help available, and they can steer you in the right direction to find some help that way as well. So there are all these resources that are out there that are ready to assist you when you find yourself facing those financial challenges, when you're stressed out, when there's nothing more that you can do and you don't know which direction to turn. We've got those people out there that can help you, and that's what I'm here for. So if you've got any other questions, feel free to call in and ask at 312-738-1060. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi there. So my credit score just dropped about 70 points because of a late payment. How can I get those points back?
The best way to get those points back is to make sure you pay your payments on time from here on out. And we mess up. Everyone messes up. Just realize that, and we want to see what we can do from this point on to make things better. Now, when you make one late payment right now, of course, it's going to affect you a lot. But as time goes on and you can get back on track, you've contacted your creditors and you're making payments again, it's going to improve things drastically a little bit each month, and it'll be making things better for you. So keep that in mind. Now, if you are struggling with your bills, you feel like you can't make your payments, especially on your credit cards, credit card companies, they have ways or they have programs out there that can assist you. The best thing you can do is call and get some information on it. 800-994-3328, dealing with all of your creditors that can help you and set up and just get the help that you need. So I think that that's the best thing that you can do. Contact your lenders if you feel like you're running past due, you're going to run past due, and look at your budget, see how much you can actually pay towards it. Even if you were to make a half a payment, that's more than you could have expected, go ahead and do that. But contact your creditor, see what they can help. Sometimes they'll let you even divide those payments up. You may say, okay, I know my due date is tomorrow, but I can only make a half a payment. I can pay the rest next week, and they may be okay with that. And did you know that a lot of times your credit card companies, what they will do for you is, if you have been with them for years, you've got a good payment history, but sometimes things happen. Sometimes you mess up, you miss that payment, you get a late payment. Sometimes they'll reverse that late fee that you receive. But you have to ask. They're allowed to do they are allowed to do 1 or 2 a year, depending on the creditor, depending on their policy. So it's always best to go ahead, reach out, and find out if they can help you. But you want to make sure that you are doing your work on the front end, letting them know what's happening, staying in contact with them, and working out those arrangements. Not always easy to talk to your creditors, not always easy to get the information that you need. So remember, if you get someone on the phone that's not helping you, that you feel that you're not getting the best customer service, and your experience is not going well, do not be afraid to ask for a supervisor. Every rep that answers the phone, they have someone that they report to and answer to as well. So when you start your phone call, I always advise you, make sure you take the name of the representative that you're talking with and what department they're in, because that could come in handy for you. Then if you do need to escalate that call to the manager, you already have that person that you weren't able to get that assistance from. And most likely the manager will be able to help you as well. They don't want you to not find the help that you need, especially in difficult situations. They're there for a reason. They're there to assist you. So always feel free to escalate if you need to, and keep it moving. So when you're dealing with difficult situations, again, we talked about your credit card, we talked about utilities, and we've talked about some other instances where you might find that you need help. But sometimes people face so many different bills, so much debt, and the weight is on you, and we understand that. And again, that's why I said that's why bankruptcy is out there. And I am in no ways an attorney. I am not advising you to file bankruptcy. I am advising you to get the help that you need. So one of the things that we want to talk about is, what do you do when you feel like you need that burden lifted, or when you feel like you can't make it? So you contact a bankruptcy attorney, of course, and you let them know about your situation. Always ask for a free consultation and get more than one. Remember, you're looking to find the right help here. So a lot of times we don't go with the first of everything we see. We want to find what's best for us, right? So you want to work with the person that has your best interest at heart and that will actually look out for your best interest. One of the things that happens is that you've got so much on you, you're going through so much information, sometimes we get confused. Make sure you get everything in writing. Then reach out and find assistance. Like I said, we've got counselors on standby that can go over your situation, that can help you and point you in the right direction. You can find out so much more when there's someone there looking outside of from the outside of your situation, and they can offer tips and ideas. They can offer money saving tips and ideas, ways for you to reduce your spending, ways for you to reduce the amount that's flowing out of your budget, and find some disposable income that you didn't even know you had. So that's why it's always good to get professional help. Now, when we talk about bankruptcy, There's two different types, so I want you to know those types that are involved. We've got a Chapter 7 and a Chapter 13. With a Chapter 7, pretty much what you're doing is saying that I can't make it. I'm getting rid of all of this debt, and I just can't do it. And the courts decide how you make your payments. Again, I'm not an attorney, so you do need to get that advice directly from them how your situation will be set up for you. Chapter 13 is where you make payments directly to the court system, and you make those payments for either 3 to 5 years, and they will set up your time frame for you. And after that, the rest of your debt is relieved. Now, after you've gone through that, you found your solution, you found what works for you. Hopefully, you did not resort to filing, because filing should always be used as a trump card. In your worst case scenario, things cannot get better. That's when you want to look at doing that and get the help and advice first before you even consider doing it. If you don't have that much debt, no need for you to file. You can set up payment arrangements. You can look at your budget. You can find your disposable income and get that help that you need. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi. Last month I took out some online installment loans, and it's really starting to drain my income. And I'm just wondering, how do I get out of this mess?
And that's something that you really need to be careful with as well, because with you doing any types of payday loans, online installment loans, even the storefront installment loans, you have to keep in mind that you've given everyone access to your bank account. You've given them access to go into your bank account anytime they get ready. Plus, you've highlighted and pointed out the dates that you get paid, so they know when you can have money in your account or when you expect to have money in your account. Problem is, they don't care what your bills are. They don't care what you need to pay. They don't care what's going on in your life. When you say you're going to give them money, they want that money then. So you have to do that work on the front end. If you've got those loans going on, you want to contact them and set up arrangements. Let them know that you're unable to make whatever payment arrangements you've agreed to. And sometimes it can be difficult to do on your own. So you do want to reach out. You do want to reach out for a counselor, get some help, your resources that you need to use, and figure all of that out. Now, with those installment loans, a lot of times what you don't realize though is that you've given them permission to come after you. And what that means is you've signed something called a wage assignment. Now, a lot of people mistake a wage assignment for a wage garnishment, and there's a huge difference. So let's talk about that for a minute. With a wage assignment, what it does is it says that you give them permission to assign your wages over to them when you get paid. You do this by giving them your employer information and the contact information for you to contact for them to contact your employer. But remember, key word here, you have given them permission. Anytime you give someone permission, you can take that permission away. And so that's why it's a difference between wage assignment and wage garnishment. Wage garnishment is anything that has gone through the court system. Even though you may have given them written permission to contact you and to contact your employer, you can write a letter having them take that way, tell them you no longer have the right to contact my employer. You no longer have access to my bank account, and they need to abide by that. The way that you make that known though is you need to make sure that they get that notice from you, so they can send you you can send them the information certified return receipt, some type of delivery in the mail that has confirmation that they had to sign for it. Sometimes you can use a fax, but it's kind of difficult to prove that fax was received unless you actually get that printout. But keep that in mind when you're dealing with those creditors like that. Then contact a counselor and they can help you get out from under that debt, because it's a vicious cycle. And we'll probably talk about that in another show as well. Looks like we've got another caller. Hi, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi. I wanted to ask, I've heard some stuff about a snowball payment method when trying to pay all my bills back, and I just wanted to know a little more about what that actually means.
Okay. Now, the snowball payment method is a tried and true method of repaying your financial debt and obligations. Now, the important thing about the snowball effect is that you can do it in whatever time frame you are looking to get out of debt. If you just set it for the minimum, though, it typically will take you about 5 years to pay everything using the snowball method. You want to look at your debt, list out all of your debt with your balances and your minimum payments. Make sure you're making your minimum payments each and every single month. Then you want to go over and look at your budget. When you're looking at your budget, you want to say, how much can I comfortably afford to put towards these bills besides what I'm paying on the minimum payment? And you may come up with a number of $50 or more. Sometimes you might even only have $10, but even that $10 that you're going to be paying will help. Now you want to take the amount that you have extra, and guess what? Put it towards your bills. But there's a way that you do that. You want to look at the creditor with the highest interest rate or lowest balance. The choice is up to you which one you prefer. The good thing about going with the lowest balance is that you get to see that account paid off faster. If you use the highest balance, of course, the higher interest rate, you're going to see the balance comes down slowly, but both methods will get you paid off in the same amount of time. So it just really depends on which way you want to see it done. Now, after let's say you work on paying everything, you've got this extra $50 that you're putting towards each month. You got a low balance on one of your credit cards. You're going to be making the minimum payment of $20, but you're going to also be taking this $50, adding that to your minimum payment, and sending them a total payment of $70 until that account is paid in full. Great thing about doing that, like I said, you're going to quickly see that low balance account get paid off within the next couple of months. Then, once that happens, you are going to take that $70 and add it to the next one that you have. So you got another low balance. You're going to hit that one next. And you're going to keep doing that. And that's what we call the snowball method. So you were looking at paying off all of your debt in a fast amount of time. And it's going to be really, really great for your budget. It's going to look great on your credit, and it actually does work. There's so many people that do it, and you can too. It just takes some discipline in setting things up, and guess what? The counselors, they can help you with that too. So if you need more information about the snowball method, feel free to reach out. I mean, there's so many great resources out there, so many methods that you can use, and you are able to control your debt and your finances. The important thing is, though, you need to be disciplined in order to do so. A lot of times we let things stress us out. We get off track. We've got bills coming in that get overwhelming, but there's help out there, and there's things that you can do yourself that will help prepare you for the future and get yourself back on track. You just need to be disciplined to do so. So again, we've talked about how to handle your situation if you cannot make your bills. We talked a little bit about bankruptcy. We talked a little bit about the snowball method. And there's some really, really, really great tips out there on using all of those things. Just make sure that you are diligent. Again, if you're looking for credit, what did I say? Pull your credit report maybe 3 to 6 months before you actually go out and apply for that account, because you want to know what you're getting yourselves into. After you do that, look as well at your budget. Now, what I mean by that, I want you to make sure that you can afford that new account that you're trying to open up. Last thing you want to do is get there, open up this new account, they give you a credit line, or you get a mortgage payment or a car note, and you're like, okay, yeah, I planned for the car note, but guess what? I forgot I had to pay insurance too. Yeah, you have to pay insurance. You've got to get plates, tags, all of that. So you want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourselves into and you can comfortably afford it. Use your discretionary income wisely. Make it work for you. If you can save it, do that. If you have bills and debt that you need to pay off, work on doing that too, because that will actually go a long ways in your savings in the future. If you pay off all your debt and you've got that money left over, guess what you do with it next? You put it in an account and you let it stack up. You save it. So those are some great tips that we had to offer today. We'll be back again next week. Feel free to call in 312-738-1060. See you next week at 4:30. But until then, contact a counselor, Family Credit, 800-994-3328. Don't forget to go online to familycredit.org. And if you need some help, it's out there. Just go find it. We'll see you again next week. Take care.